Dear students of Standard 9, good afternoon everyone. This is your chemistry class. We are talking about chapter 5 chemical bond. Last class we learned physical and chemical properties of ionic and covalent compound. That class we learned melting point, boiling point and also solubility in water. Today in this class we will learn about another characteristics of ionic and covalent compound. This is electrical conductivity. Dear students, we learned that by seeing the properties or characteristics of ionic and covalent compound, we can differentiate the compounds. For example, melting point and boiling point, ionic compounds have high melting point and boiling point, whereas covalent compounds have low melting point and boiling point. Solubility in water. Most of the ionic compounds have high solubility. They are soluble into water, and most of the covalent compounds are insoluble into water. Today, in this class, we will learn about electrical conductivity. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity, but covalent compounds cannot conduct electricity. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity but not at their solid condition. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity in their solution or in molten state. That means in liquid condition, ionic compounds can conduct electricity. To conduct electricity, two things are needed. Dear students, to conduct electricity, there are two things needed. These are free ions and also free electrons. Ionic compounds can conduct electricity in their melted state or in solution through free ions. We learned in solution, ionic bond is broken. That means the positive ion and negative ion can move freely. Their free ions are present in the melted condition of ionic compound. In the same way, when ionic compounds are given into water, then also ionic bond is broken and the ions can freely move in the solution. So, in melted condition or in solution, free ions are present and these free ions can conduct electricity. At the solid condition, positive and negative ions of ionic compounds remain tightly bonded with one another. The ions cannot move, so the electricity cannot be conducted by ionic compounds in their solid condition, because we learned that electricity can be conducted by free ions or free electrons, but in solid condition the positive ion and negative ions are tightly bonded with one another and the ions cannot move. So electricity cannot be conducted at the solid condition of ionic compound. But in melted state or in solution, the positive and negative ions of ionic compounds can move freely and electricity can be conducted by these free moving ions of ionic compounds. No. If it is molten, the ions can move. When ionic compounds are heated and when they become liquid, then the free ions can move in the liquid state of ionic compound. Or when ionic compounds are given into water, when they are dissolved into water, then also the ions are separated from one another. So here free ions are present and these free ions can conduct electricity. For example, in the melted condition or in solution of sodium chloride. When sodium chloride is melted or when sodium chloride is dissolved into water, then sodium ion and chloride ion are separated from one another and they move freely. Chloride ion goes to anode and releases one electron there. This electron is conducted through electric wire and comes to the cathode. In cathode, sodium ion accepts this electron. In this way, by transferring electron, the free moving ions of sodium chloride can conduct electricity. Like this way. Look, here free moving ion, sodium ion and chloride ions are present. So, when one battery is connected here, then these ions, or when any bulb is connected with this electric wire, then also the ions conduct electricity, because the negative ion releases electron and these electrons are transferring from anode to cathode. In cathode, there are sodium ion, so sodium ion can accept the electron. So the transferring of electron can be easily occurred here, and this transferring of electron is the transfer of electricity, is the way of electricity. So here free ions can conduct electricity. Look, chloride ion releases electron and sodium ion accepts this electron. This is the electrical conductivity of ionic compound in their melted state or in solution. In ionic compound, it may be aqueous or melt, can conduct electricity. It is because in solid they have no free moving ion. Free ion is absent in covalent compounds, because covalent compounds, if the compound is dissolved into water, then the bond is not broken. The molecules are separated from one another and their van der Waals force, the weak attraction force, is broken, but the ions are not separated from one another. So, in dissolved condition or in melted condition, there is no free ion. So, covalent compounds cannot conduct electricity because there is no free moving ion. Look, this is pure water, distilled water. In pure water, there are no freely moving ion, so pure water cannot conduct electricity. Here, this is the ionic compound but in solid condition. There are ions, but the ions are attached with one another. The ions cannot move, so it also cannot conduct electricity. Look here. Here, ionic compound is given into water. So, the ions are separated from one another. So, this solution of ionic compound can conduct electricity. Now, metallic bond. Now, we will read about another bond, that is metallic bond. Metallic bond exists between the atoms of metal. Metallic bond is created between the atoms of metals. All metal atoms give up their valence electrons and become positively charged ions. And it seems that the positive ions are immersed in the sea of electrons. In a metal sheet, it may be rod, copper wire, knife, this type of metal sheet. Here, all the atoms of metal, they release their outermost electron, because metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons on their last shell. When they release the electron from the last shell, they become positively charged ion and they are immersed in the sea of electron, because when all metal atoms release electron, then there are huge number of electrons and these electrons are negatively charged and the metal ions are positive in charge. Look, Here the metal atoms all they release their electron, and it seems that the positive metallic ion, they are immersed in the sea of electron. Now one interesting matter is that the electron that is released by the atom of metal, now these electrons can move freely in the metal sheet, and now the electrons are called delocalized electrons, because the electrons are not uh, present are not the electrons are not at the same condition. The electrons are moving in the full metal sheet. The attractive force that keeps the atoms in a piece of metal interconnected is called the metallic bond. For example, copper wire, knife, gold ornaments, here metallic bond is present. Here the positive metallic ions are attached, are remained in a metal sheet for the attraction of negative electrons. Here each metal atom gives up its valence electrons to form positive ions. These electrons no longer belong to any metal atom. They are called delocalized electrons. They move freely in the space between the metal ions. These electrons are called delocalized electrons. These are called delocalized electrons, and this positive metal ion, this is called atomic core. Metals release their valence electrons and become metal ions or cations. These metal ions are called atomic core. In the metal lattice, the donated electrons come out of the orbit and move freely. Such electrons, here will be R, such electrons are called delocalized electrons. They become the electrons of all the metal ions of that piece of metal instead of remaining under a particular atom. Now the electrons are not belonging on a fixed atom. They are moving, they are remaining, they are not remaining under a particular atom, they are moving in the full metal sheet. These delocalized electrons are responsible for all the properties of metal. For example, metals are heat and electric conductors. You know why? Because these delocalized electrons in the metal lattice are the carrier of heat and electricity. All metals are electrical conductors. The delocalized electrons in the metal lattice are the carrier of electricity in them. All metals are heat conductor also. Here also delocalized electrons receive the heat energy and carry it from the one end to another end of a metal sheet, like this way. So these delocalized electrons are responsible for these properties of metal. Not only these, other properties of metal like flexibility, brightness, charge resistance, etc. are also for the delocalized electrons. Now dear students, we know that metals are electrical conductor. This is the property of a metal, and non-metals are insulator. Non-metals cannot conduct electricity. Now here I will tell about a non-metal that can conduct electricity. That is graphite. Do you know about graphite? Graphite, that is the lead of pencil. It is graphite, and this graphite is also carbon. It is a form of carbon. You know, diamond is also a form of carbon. Diamond and graphite both are two allotropic form of carbon, where diamond cannot conduct electricity but graphite can conduct electricity. This is diamond and this is graphite. Here we know about diamond and graphite, why both are carbon, both are non-metal, but why graphite can conduct electricity but diamond cannot. Diamond and graphite are two allotropic form of carbon. Both they are non-metal, but graphite can conduct electricity. This is the structure of diamond and this is the structure of graphite. For these structures, one of them can conduct electricity but another cannot conduct. This picture will make you more clear. Look, this is the structure of diamond, where one carbon atom, carbon atom has 4 valence electrons. One carbon atom is bonded with another 4 carbon atoms by using its 4 valence electrons. But in graphite, carbon uses its 3 electrons to attach with another carbon atom. So, one electron remains free for graphite. In diamond, carbon uses its 4 valence electrons to make covalent bond with another carbon atom. So, there is no free electron in diamond molecule. So, electricity cannot be conducted through diamond. But in graphite, carbon uses its 3 valence electrons to make covalent bond with another carbon atom. So, one electron remains free in graphite molecule and this electron can move freely in a graphite molecule. So, electricity can be conducted by this free moving electron in graphite molecule. For this why graphite and diamond both are two form of carbon, but graphite can conduct electricity but diamond cannot. So being a non-metal, graphite is also a electric conductor. So dear students, today after this we have finished this chapter. Next class I will solve the exercise. So, goodbye everyone. Thanks to all.